Welcome to Wait, not quite yet. Leaving our friends on a beautiful fall day, we took our first 6-hour drive west to just east of Asheville. Up until now, we've only driven 3 to 4 hours a day, but it taught us how okay it is to drive 6 hours, switching every hour and a half and packing a lunch to eat in the car. You can really get somewhere in 6 hours. Our adorable campground was on the river, a first, and we only had one neighbor for one night. Even with a busy Biltmore schedule, it was a little slice of heaven where we could relax and rest and enjoy nature. This campground was part of the flood a year before, so we were happy to support a local family business that had clearly been working hard to rebuild. That next day, we did a 10-hour day at the Biltmore Estate. It was the kickoff weekend to their Christmas extravaganza. I've always wanted to see the Biltmore, mostly because of my friend China always talking about it, and then Hallmark released their pretty well-done movie a few years ago. I even got Matt to watch it, because we'd been there, and the clincher, it had 2 Star Trek actors in it. The entire place was a gorgeous display of lights and greenery. The grounds were in their fall, aka dead, season, but I love fall, so I was still content. They still had some fall plantings perfectly placed, showing the satisfaction of a well-arranged design. The conservatory was probably my favorite part. The tropical array in this winding maze of foliage was nothing short of amazing, and I couldn't believe living things like this existed. I've lived in a desert climate my whole life, and as the saying goes, you don't know what you don't know. And I didn't know. You can feel the peace and the humidity just looking at these photos. Instead of fighting traffic, we biked the 8,000 acres. It was pretty brisk, but we saw many places a car couldn't take you. There were hidden ponds and little waterfalls, a path along the French Broad River taking you through farmlands and pastures. We saw sheep and cows and a little chicken coop. Biltmore Estate includes gardens, forests, farmlands, and wildlife habitats. The land is a valuable and celebrated part of the estate. It's known as the birthplace of scientific forestry in America. Their vision of sustainability was forefront during design and construction, and continued by adding vineyards in the 1970s and turning a dairy barn into a winery in 1985. George Washington Vanderbilt, grandson and inheritor of the fortune of Cornelius Vanderbilt, was born in New York in 1862. After visiting Asheville in 1888, he was determined to build a house to host friends from the city. The construction of this 175,000 square foot French Renaissance-style chateau took only 8 years, finishing in 1897, just in time for his wedding to Edith Dresser the following year. They had one daughter, Cornelia, and sadly at 14, her father died, leaving her and her mother as heirs. In 1930, Cornelia opened Biltmore to the public to help support the estate and promote area tourism during the Depression. In 1963, it was declared a National Historic Landmark, and currently her 2 grandchildren are CEO and chair of the board. The candlelight tour of the house was a delicate balance of the warm glow of the Christmas season and just enough information about the house and people to quench your curiosity. We were greeted with a choir singing carols in a stunning glass-roofed room full of plants called the Winter Garden. The senses were overwhelmed at the sheer quantity of items he had collected during his travels and antiques inherited. George was a passionate collector of books, prints, art, and furnishings. I guess he needed 175,000 square feet for those 92,000 items he picked up along the way. We saw the billiard room, the banquet hall, breakfast room, the salon, which housed my favorite piece of art, a Monet from 1884 depicting a street in Italy, a music room, gallery, and library. Especially note these last 2 in the Hallmark movie. the extravagant staircase with tiny outdoor access to keep the windows clean. The second floor, we saw both Mr. and Mrs. Vanderbilt's bedrooms with a sitting room in between, which had my other favorite piece, this green adjustable wing armchair. The basement boasted an enormous kitchen courtyard, as well as a pastry kitchen, main kitchen, and a separate rotisserie kitchen. The laundry and ironing rooms, with a dedicated room to roll in racks of sheets to dry, a gym with weights, men's and women's dressing rooms, a bowling alley, and a walk-in swimming pool with diving board. There was a sub-basement too, with storage and the boilers, but we didn't get to go down there. If you find yourself at the estate, you absolutely must get a cup of the hot chocolate, just outside the main entrance of the house. Best hot chocolate I have ever had in my life. Probably not worth the ticket price just for a cup, but maybe. Enjoy it in the company of lions, and enjoy the night sky with twinkle lights around. Our short time in the beautiful mountains of Asheville was a peaceful way to end our time in North Carolina.